Yeah. So in the last session, we discussed about few rules required to create a SAS program or a SAS dataset.
Yes.
Yeah. And now we'll go through the actual SAS programming. So, what are the steps involved in it? Okay. Yeah. So basically, SAS program, it's a sequence of statements, when you execute it. So we basically have three main steps. One is data step, one is proc step, other one is global options and global statements. Okay, so you know what is data step and proc step. So mainly we use data step for to retrieve the data, create new SAS data sets. Okay, and proc data step are mainly used for to process the existing SAS data set, in order to generate reports, graphs, edit data, sort data, all these kind of things. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And last option is global options. So basically, for any language, take it as any language, it will have some default options. Okay. In terms of font, in terms of indentation, in terms of lining, in terms of length, width, and all, right? So every program has its own kind of default settings, right? Okay. So in order to change these default settings, or in order to find out what are the default settings, we use global options. Okay, so the word global is because once we use these options, no so once we want to change these options, for the entire SAS session, we use global because we are changing it for our for our entire program or the particular SAS session or the particular uh, SAS editor. Okay,
Oh,
so which means globally. Yes, ma'am.
so that will work for like the whole program.
Exactly. Yeah, whole program. Whatever you do, if if you change the settings at the start, even that applies at the bottom of the programming code. I mean, basically, typically, in real time, it will have thousands of lines, right? Yeah. So once you change the thing, change the particular settings at the start, even it can be applicable for at the bottom also. At any point at any point of the programming.
Oh, okay. It works
Yeah.
for the as a whole.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's called global options.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's take a simple example. So I said, global options, right? So, this is the one of the options. Okay. So where I just, I'm just giving a font equal to Vardhana 15. So it's the font name and the length of it. I mean, the size of it.
Okay.
So I just, sorry, second. Just a moment. Hmm. Yeah, I guess it's my bad. This particular option is not coming into this web SAS editor. Second. Yeah. I don't see these options in the web. Uh, because I mean, the program which I wrote is for the Windows desktop version. Uh, seems this is not working here.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, I mean because this is the student version, so I mean not all will work. But let me see. Yeah, anyways, ma'am, I'll just get back to
Do
you
we
on
have
this. Yeah,
to,
yeah,
like you said, 15? So it will take Vardhan and the size also, like the
yes,
type and
yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah,
there. Okay.
yeah. I mean, thing is, I mean, SAS has been licensing its platform, right? So, not all options, we will work on one platform. You know, will be getting it right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, thing is,
Yes.
as I told you before, SAS has many licenses starting from around $500 to $2,000. Okay, the work done in thing is, editor and the options will be same, but the work done in $500 license, sorry, the work done in $2,000 license will not be done in 500 $500 license.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's the issue here. I guess this is the issue for this one too. I didn't check this, but but let me see if I can find some other way to do this. Okay, so let's go to the other one. Yeah, so there's a typical programming where where we normally do uh there's a data step where we create a data. Yeah, and there's a proc step where we print the data. So just to have the report of it. Okay. No, I guess which we went to last session itself, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just give you some other options then. Instead of font, let me see if any option. Mm, just a second, Let me see even if I have any option to get. Just a moment, ma'am. I only see Windows, I mean SAS window options itself.
Okay.
Yeah, web options are totally different. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, thing is for this font is it's it's a window option, ma'am. So I know I'll see if if I find any other option in terms of font, and we'll let you know in the next session, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
this command will work in the downloaded version, you mean?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah.
Not in the SAS Studio.
No,
Not in web version.
no, it works in SAS Studio, but thing is not the version which we have it. I mean, the studio window which I'm showing is the student SAS version, student SAS version, ma'am.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah. So we normally don't have the access to this actual version of it. Yeah.
okay, okay.
So we have to download any other
No,
version.
we can't do it, ma'am. We can't do it. I mean,
Only
thing
this
is,
is available.
yes, only this is available openly.
Okay.
I mean, I'll see, if I can find some source, to just because previously, we used to have, cracked versions of SAS, but
Oh,
in the past few years and almost few years, it's been difficult to have a cracked version.
very restricted now.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. So in
That's
order to,
fine. I mean, the point is to know
yeah,
that option how the options work
yeah.
because company will definitely give their own software and all those things.
Yes, yes. In terms of company, I mean, thing is, normally, you won't get a chance to, to change the default options. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just for, just for FNI, just to know, and just for FII, I just, told you this option. Okay. Anyways, I'll just write it down. Yeah. So next thing is, so once so we know what is data step and proc step, and and the global options. The next one is ways to read data into SAS. Okay. So there are a couple of ways to read data into SAS. One is in-stream data where we can create our own data with the help of statement called data lines, which we have been doing it. So here we can we can just create our own data, whatever the need is. So for now, we have done with the input columns as ID, name, sex, age, and sal, which we have the data
Mm-hmm.
here. Okay, and even whenever we get some external files, because most of the in real time, most of the data we deal with is through database. Okay, so almost I would say 95% of work will be through database. I mean, even that too depends on the company. Depends on the company. Some company, if it is a small company, it usually depend on the flat files. Flat files like notepads, Excel files, and CSV. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So in that case, we just give the path to that file.
exactly in this way, ma'am. So one is if you have files like text file, CSV, some kind of notepad file in the .dat file, we can just give the data, give the path here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. We can give the path here. So this in this particular web version of it. So what we have to do, as I told you before, we have to upload a file, right? Just upload a
Yeah.
file, you know,
Yeah.
uh, from our local system, okay, to our
Mhm.
specified location. Once we have the file in a specific location, then we call the file. Okay, for example, in our file, we have some data. So what we've done is, I have mentioned the data to be ID, name, sex, age, and sal. Okay, I'll run this one. So, ma'am, I'll go through each and every line, each and every statement in the next session. But now, it's just how to read the data. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
So, what is in file? What is input? What is data and all? I'll go through each and every step. So, in this way, so we have the data, in a .txt file, and we're just simply reading it. Okay. This is the second method, and third method is we have an option. We have a procedure called proc import. Okay. So through proc import, we normally we normally extract files like CSV, Excel files. So, for example, you get a CSV file through a different source. We simply mention the file name, sorry, file location, with the name and extension of it. Okay, .csv. So it has its own syntax. So syntax and all, I'll explain you in the next sessions, ma'am. No problem on
Okay.
it. Yeah. It's just to know. So we have data. It's called a hard data. So it
Mm.
has age, sex, BP, cholesterol, and heart disease. One or zeros. Okay. Yeah. And the last one is proc import for an Excel file. Okay.
Okay.
Not valid. Okay. This. So, okay. Yeah. So we have information about list of items. So we have list of items in terms of baby blankets, muslin clothes, sleeping bags, and all, and their links.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this way. Yeah. So in this way, these are ways to, you know, import files in terms of can be flat files. So these are ways to import flat files, and this is the way to create our own data with the help of data lines. And for example, if we have if we have any kind of existing data set, okay, existing SAS data set in our libraries. I mean, into the servers, we can mention the library. So library name will always be a prefix of the SAS dataset name. Okay. So we'll simply call it as in this web version we have a default library called SAS help. Okay. And it we have a we have a default dataset called class. Let's read it. So in it we have name, sex, age, height, and weight. And then the next one is to read the data from the database. Okay, this is the most commonly used across companies. So normally, so as we don't have, as currently we don't have any kind of a database here. So this is the typical syntax of it. First thing
Okay.
is we normally used connect to Oracle. Okay, Oracle is the database here. It can be any one, ma'am. So for example, we have Sybase, Teradata. Okay. So all
Okay.
these, yeah, we can mention. So this will be explained by the, once you go into the company, and they'll let which database is it.
Okay.
Okay. So accordingly, you can change here. Username and password will be, will be the, will be of the programmers. So his
The
username,
company will provide. Okay.
yeah, his or her username and his or her password will be written here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the rest of syntax will be same for
Okay.
any, yeah, for any database. This will be same, and this will be same, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever the data you want to read, it will change here. Okay. Select star from EMP, so which means select all the data from the, so star is something that selecting the entire data with all the columns and the rows from the particular data set called EMP. So here, as it is a database, we normally called as we normally called data sets as tables. Okay, because it's a database.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear, ma'am. Shravani, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am.
yes, sir.
Parmit, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And next one is, for instance, uh, you have all your data sets. Okay, in a particular library. For example, if you see here, what's this? Yeah. You see here, we have libraries. Okay. So these are default, these are few default libraries, And in these also, I have my own library, which I have created in the SAS session itself. Okay. So all the libraries maybe can be a default or non-default. Will stay under this my libraries folder. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a subfolder under memories list. Okay. So so we got to know that we have few data sets in this library called Krishna. Okay. All these data sets. Okay. So we got the information that we have data sets in this particular location. Okay. So what we do is we simply write a syntax called libname with the library reference name,
Okay.
something, and it can be anything, when with the location with its in quotation marks. Okay. So once we call this, so our library gets created with reference to this particular location. Okay. We just need to call our referenced dataset. For example, I have a dataset set Krishna dot ds10 and run. So as I said previously, uh, library reference name will always be a prefix to the dataset. So I get data here. Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, we know whichever data it is. Okay, ma'am.
so first we have to call with the lib name and then
Exactly. Thing is, we get we only get the information that we have, client or the stakeholders, they have just, ingested all the data sets in this particular folder. Okay. So, every time, we just don't go to this. So normally, ingesting happens in this way. So we have this folder, right? SAS batch 3, SAS batch 2, XYD, and SAS begin, these folders, right? Okay. So normally what happens is clients or stakeholders, they dump all their data in these particular folders. Okay. So in these particular folders, we have SAS datasets, Excel files, TXT files, mix of all the files. Okay. So we just can't go to the location because here it is just a root folder and and actual folder with a subfolder. But in real time, we may have n number of folders, subfolders, root folders. I'm sorry, n number of folders, subfolders, and all, right. So
yeah.
it'll be a huge task for us, for a programmer to just go into the particular folder, search for a data set and all. So instead of that, if you mention, if you create a simple syntax like this, a library. So what happens is, what does it do? Once you create a lib name with a reference name to a particular location, so it will get segregated in a way that it will come, all the SAS datasets will come under my libraries with the, under the reference name.
Okay.
Getting it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is what happens. Next. Yeah. And yeah. And there's the other way where we can, read the data from the, direct database itself. Okay. So just user and password. So normally, most of the time we use this. Normally, most of the time we use this particular script. Okay, this piece of code for
Mhm.
whenever we want to connect to the database. Okay. Yeah.
And do we have to disconnect after we are done or after the import
No,
of
no.
the data?
We'll run, once we, so this entire code to be run at a time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this entire code to be run at a time in this way. I mean, we may, we'll face a, because the Oracle engine cannot be found. A connection to the Oracle database is not currently supported. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clear, ma'am? Shravani, ma'am?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay. Sorry?
Uh, No, sir, my daughter.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So this, so the other way, the other way to read data from the, from the database using, libname statement is this one, ma'am. Libname, library reference name, Oracle user Scott equal password try tiger. Okay, so once we read it, we just simply do in this way. Data ds set Krishna dot. Okay, the mostly thing is we will know what are the available tables in this particular Oracle. Okay, we simply mention the table name. It can be at our demographic. Okay, table name and then run. That's it. So once we run this, so we can create this particular. We get the data from this particular Oracle table. Got it, ma'am? The same way here.
Yeah.
Okay, but always it is it is always used. It is always because for small tables. Okay, I can say for small tables, it is always efficient to use Oracle, proc SQL. Okay, if it is a small table and we have many selections to do, because in through SQL we can do many selections. We can use filters and all, right? So so in terms of an execution time, it is it consumes less compared to this libname statement. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the reason we use most of the time, whenever we connect to Oracle, we use proc SQL because as you know, SQL is the only language that is used to connect to a database.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so that's the reason we use proc SQL. And we have so on the on contrary, we have other option which is libname option. This is hardly used. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm, okay. Yeah. So normally, how does the SAS system works with data? Okay. Okay. So thing is, first of all, you need to know. So what are SAS datasets? So sorry, how what is the extension of a SAS dataset? Normally, it will have SAS 7B DAT. Okay. So this is the extension of a SAS dataset. If you see here, whatever the SAS dataset we so not here. If you just diversify this particular location, if you see we have we have dot dot 7b dat files. Wherever you see dot 7b dat files, it is called a SAS dataset. Okay, we have CSV, XLSX, right? All these files, TXT files, not PDF. Okay, so from these files, whenever you see a dot SAS 7b dat file, it's called a SAS dataset file. And dot SAS is a SAS script name. Just like whenever you store a particular a text information through a text file, it'll get stored it'll get stored through .txt, right? The same
Yeah.
way, this particular script, whenever you save it into any location or or in the same web location itself, it'll get saved as a .sas file, .sas file. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thing is, whenever you create a SAS session, the first and foremost thing what happens is it'll create a temporary library. Okay, a temporary library. It's called work library. This work library. So work library is something that it will work only for the particular session. Okay, once the once the session is closed, all the data sets in the work library will be erased automatically.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in order to, in order to make the data sets in the work library to be permanent, okay, what we do is we create our own library and save these data sets, save our required data sets to the permanent library, to the libname statement. Getting it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, how do we create a library? Okay. So, it's simple. Just libname, libname in the statement and syntax is libname library reference name, and its location. That's it. For instance, I want to create a library from this location. Okay. No, you can mention any location, whichever you want, whichever you want. So I want all my datasets to be stored in this particular location. Okay. Once I run this, you see here, libref my underscore SAS refers to this same physical library. Okay. So we already have AA as a physical library. Okay. What we'll do is we'll just remove AA. Uh, no, it's okay. Second. Okay. Anyways, we got this library. Or else what we'll do, we'll remove this. Okay. Yeah. When we have refreshed it, yeah. Now we'll run this. I didn't remove this too. Okay. I mean, what happens is, if you mention same reference name, so same location to a new reference name, so all the data present in the old library will be copied into the new library. That's it. Okay.
Oh.
It won't replace the it never replace the existing library. If you see the log here, libref
Mm-hmm.
mysas refers to the same physical library as AA. The libref mysas one was successfully assigned to as follows. Okay, to this physical name. Okay, it will never replace the existing library. So now I want to create a new library, which is this one. So if we refresh this one, we get library here as mysas. Okay. Yeah. So all the data present in this location, okay, will be treated. No, I mean, my point is not all the data, all the SAS data sets present in this location called XYD, okay, will be just diversified as SAS data sets into a new library called my underscore SAS. Getting it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, in order to create this, library reference, we normally have few rules to do it. One is, so, library reference name should not exceed 8 characters of length. Okay. And must begin with a letter or underscore. Okay. But not with a numeric. But always, must always, begin with a letter or underscore, but not with a numeric. Remaining characters can be letters, numbers, or underscores. Okay.
Okay.
So, these three rules are very important. Right, ma'am? Because library name shouldn't cross 8 characters of length. For example, if it crosses, it'll just throw an error. Okay. It's not a valid name in this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're done with library name. Yeah. No, you can create your own data. Uh, yeah. This gets into this particular library called my underscore SAS. So we have created this item DS1. So DS1 here. Once you open this DS1, it will have the same data as we have mentioned.
Okay. I can't hear anything. I don't know if you're muted or.
Sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, now, but I missed.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, and I'll just come again. Okay. So thing is, whenever you submit a data step, okay, data step. So it has a backend process. Okay. So where firstly it undergoes a syntax check. Okay. For example, if you see here, um, remove this. Sorry, this one. Remove this. Eventually, we won't be getting any kind of data. We see here. So we have a syntax check. Statement is not valid or not used out of proper order. Okay. No data lines or in-file statement. Right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, if you see, we don't get any kind of a data out of it. So first of all, it goes to the syntax check. Once that is done, if sees everything is correct, it then gets compiled and then gets executed. Okay. At the execution phase, okay, at the execution phase, we have three specific items where it will go through each and every process. One is input buffer, other one is PDV, which is called program data vector, and last one is descriptor information. Okay, descriptor
Okay.
information. So let's go through the input buffer. Okay, so input buffer is a it's a kind of a, I can say, memory area where each record will be stored in it. Okay, stored in the sense, each and every record one by one, it will read each and every record and will store in this particular input buffer. From the input buffer, so one by one, all these data or the rows will go into the program data vector. Okay, we see here the SAS system builds the data set one observation at a time. Okay, in this area of memory when executed. So values are read from the input buffer or created by the programming statements and assigned to the corresponding variables. Okay. So what happens is in the input buffer, each record will be stored, and after that, after that, once all the records are being stored in the input buffer, it goes to next step, which is the program data vector, where each and every data will be assigned to the particular variable or the column. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where each and every record gets assigned to the not to the variable, it's called the pdb location, or the pdb area. It's called program data vector. So then each and every data or the row you know will be written to the SAS data set, step by step. Okay, step by step. First one record, then next, and so on. Okay. So here we usually see two backend variables getting created. One is underscore n underscore, other one is underscore error underscore. Okay. So what is underscore n underscore? So n underscore it usually indicates the number of observations in our data. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, if I have 10 observations, so each observation will be iterated. So which means underscore n underscore equal to 1 for the first observation, and it will increase to +1 for the second and third and so on until 10. Last will be underscore n underscore equal to 10. Okay. On the other hand, we have underscore error underscore equal to 0. Whenever it sees there are no errors, it will throw underscore error underscore equal to 0.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. And if it sees errors, it will simply throw underscore error underscore equal to 1. Can be many errors, like more than 1 or more than 100 or anything. It will just simply show underscore error underscore equal to 1. Okay.
Okay.
So mostly, this underscore error underscore is is pertain to the logical error, but not the syntax error. Okay, so the major difference between logical error and the and the syntax error is syntax error is something which is which pertains to the the programming steps we do. Okay, if you miss any kind of a default programming step, so that is called a syntax error. Logical error is a data error. If the if the data is not aligned to to our the variables which we are calling, it will throw a logical error. Go ahead, ma'am. So logical error, whenever we get logical error, we see underscore error underscore equal to 1 in the log.
Okay. That
Yeah,
means the error is in the data.
data, exactly. So at that time you have to check, you have to see the data first, whether our data is aligned or not. Do we have any issues with the data? All these.
Mhm.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So for syntax error, we won't be getting any kind of an error, underscore error underscore equal to value. So most of the time, always, not most, always, the syntax error we see in the log will be in a red color.
Okay.
Okay, so if you see, whenever the error is there, it shows always, red color underline. Syntax error are, if you see here, as I, as I said before, syntax error are program errors. Whenever we miss any kind of a statement, default statements, default syntaxes, okay, for our programming, so it'll throw a error in terms of a red color. But logical errors are data errors. It'll be shown in terms of underscore error underscore. Got it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Cl- Clear on this data step processing? First is, once we process the data, first step is input buffer, where the data gets into it, into the where the data gets into the memory of the input buffer. After that, it will go into the program data vector, where each and every data point will be assigned to the particular variables. At this point, we'll be getting two automatic variables. One is underscore n underscore, and the other one is underscore error underscore. Clear on this, ma'am?
Clear. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because the use of underscore n underscore and underscore error underscore, and and the use of input buffer PDV, you'll be getting to know in the next sessions, ma'am. Because the way we write the program, it's always, we always think to minimize the time. Okay, minimize the execution time. So minimizing the execution time is something that uh, we need, what we need to do. Do we need to directly go do we need to avoid pdv input buffer and directly go into this descriptive information in this way? Getting it, ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So last part is descriptive information. So in here, the SAS data so the SAS data gets, sorry, the SAS SAS dataset gets created and maintains the information about dataset and its variable attributes like length, label, format, in format, and its and its is it a character type or a or a numeric type? All these informations. Okay, all these informations are will be assigned in the descriptor information. Okay, this is the last step, ma'am, in terms of data step execution.
Okay.
Yeah. So first thing is, once we have the data, it'll check for syntax errors. Okay. If we if we don't have any kind of syntax errors, it'll go through the data part. So in the data part, we have two major options. One is, so two major steps. One is input buffer, other one is PDV. In input buffer, we normally get all the all the data row, all the data points, and from there it'll jump into this PDV. Okay, in PDV, each and every data point will be assigned to the particular variable, where we eventually get two automatic variables. One is underscore n underscore, other one is underscore error underscore. Clear now, ma'am, until here?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. At last, we can see the descriptive information of a SAS dataset in terms of length, label, format, in format, its its data type and all. Okay. In order to see the the specs of a data, I mean specs in the sense the attributes. Okay. For example, if I When it's length, label, length, format, informat, and all. We use we use proc contents. So it will just show us dataset name, member type, engine, create date, last modified, observations, variables, observation length, compressed,
Oh,
sorted, it's encoding. Okay. Dataset page size, number of pages for a data set. It's we have its access permissions, file name, Linux, host name, and its attributes here. Alphabetic list of variables and attributes. Variable type, length, number, its data type, number, character, all this in its length. So, all the information pertaining to its memory size here, pertaining to a dataset will be found in terms of proc contents. Okay?
okay.
Yeah. That's the simple step. Yeah. If you see here, we got the data, right? We got, yeah, we got the data here, and we have nulls in the name.
Yeah.
And age and sex, sorry, ID is fine, name, age, sex, and sal. If you see here, um, any idea why we got in name, under name, name is a character, but still we got periods.
Missing value.
Any idea on this, ma'am?
The missing value.
Yeah, yeah, missing value itself. So why no why is it we got periods under name?
Missing value for a character is like
Sorry,
this.
ma'am, your voice is very low. Hello,
Missing value for character is displayed as a dot.
ma'am. No, can you be loud? I cannot hear you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Missing value for character is displayed like this with dots.
You're missing
Can you
something. No, no, just remember the past. I mean, no, missing values for character, is it dot or blank? Okay, so normally if you just go to previous session, uh, no problem. Remember? Uh, yeah. So missing value for numeric is always period. Missing value for character is always blank.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the reason I have asked you. Okay. So it's not always we just go to data and see whether it is a numeric or character. Okay. So just see the blanks and just tell me just simple. No, see the missing data and tell me whether it is a character or numeric. So here name is being
Numeric, yeah.
defined as a numeric. Okay, if you see here, defined as a numeric here. But even though we got the data, because it don't have any kind of a syntax errors, right? But we have logical errors, which is underscore error underscore equal to 1. If you see here, n underscore equal to 1, underscore n underscore equal to 2, and 3, and 4, and so on. Got it, ma'am?
Got it. Yeah.
And underscore n underscore equal to 1, 1, 1, 1. Because uh, we have four data points, and we haven't, so we have mentioned ABC as a character data, but we haven't mentioned dollar here. So it will eventually be read as a numeric, but numeric data can't read the character data. Clear on this?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I'll just place it here and I'll run this. We got the data here. So no errors, nothing. Everything is clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions,
So
ma'am,
by
until now?
default, if we don't put the dollar sign, it will read as numeric, right?
Numeric. Whatever data we pass it, only the numeric will be considered, and the rest will be removed. Yeah. This, even though it is same, because numeric can't read mixed values. I mean, it's not that we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. It reads, it just, omits this A, B, C, D, E, F, M, N, O, K, X, Y, Z, and only reads 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, right?
It just can't read, yeah.
Exactly, because it's the, numeric only reads the numeric data, but not a mixed data.
Mhm.
Only character can read a mixed data, a combination of numeric and character.
Correct. Now it
Yeah,
will get
yeah, yeah,
got it. Yeah. Thank you. Nice example.
yeah. So any question from until now? Because this is important, it's the base of thing. So once you get these, okay, once you get on this, how to create libraries, how to clear and how to create and how to read data. Sorry, no, no, not read. How to create libraries. Okay, how to just know the data set. Yeah, and its rules and all.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll just have few minutes left, but we'll just quickly go with the first statement, which is data step. Okay, first statement, which is data. So we simply call it as a data step. So any data, so any code which starts with, in terms of SAS programming, any code that starts with the data, it's called data step.
Okay.
Okay, so data step, consists of group of statements in SAS language that can read a raw data, create SAS data set. Okay, if we see here, we are able to read raw data and create SAS dataset and even create an in-stream data. Okay, using statement called data lines. So mainly dataset, is useful to perform data access and data management. Okay, so we'll see, what are the data management steps. So data access, we went through what is, how to access the data in terms of existing libraries or from, or no, or from external source, which is the flat files. Okay,
Yeah.
so main purpose of data step is, retrieving information, checking for errors, validating, and correcting the SAS code. Okay, so errors can be syntax errors, logical errors. So and it's, once we see the errors, we need to validate on the errors and then correct the actual code of, actual code to be a error-free code. Okay, create new variables. We can create, new variables and compute their values. So once we create a new variable in data step, we can even change the values of it. We can do all kind of summations, multiplication, subtraction, and all. Computing, computing the values. Create new SAS datasets. Create new SAS dataset from the existing SAS datasets. You see here. So what we have done is, so existing is class dataset. From class dataset, we have created DS. Okay, a new dataset. Manipulating and reshaping the data, generating and printing reports. Okay, so manipulating and reshaping, you'll get to know, ma'am. And the last part is generating and printing report with the help of data step. Okay, yeah.
So
First
DS
thing,
could be any name. Can you show the
sorry, ma'am.
the DS you mentioned? Data set DS.
Dataset DS, this one.
Yeah, work DS. Yeah. So it could be any name or this
Yeah, I
is
mean, it could be any name, but it should follow our naming conventions. Remember, right? Yesterday,
okay.
we have discussed about the data set naming convention. So
Yeah.
even though what happens, even though if you remove, for example, if I just mention data set 1, 2, 3, 4, even though I don't use prefix as work dot, it will still get stored in this work library here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. If you mention work dot or don't mention work dot, it is by default SAS action that all the temporary data sets will be stored in the work library. Okay. But no, but remember, but but to remember is always make sure whenever you create a SAS data set, it should be it should align with our SAS naming rules.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just show you the state. Yeah. If you see here, data statement. Normally, so what are the statements here? Data is a statement. Infile is a statement. Input, all the underlying ones are the statements. Data lines, run, proc print, run. Okay. All these are statements, ma'am. If you miss any of these statements, eventually you'll get syntax errors.
Yeah.
Okay. Because these are defaults, because these are default ones. These to be whenever you have to create a program, these to be added. I mean, my point is not all these based on the programming. Okay,
Yeah.
based on based on what requirement it is, you'll add infile or import data lines something. It depends on your requirement. Okay. So tomorrow, we'll just go through the data statement. Sorry, data statement options. So what are the options? So we have these, right? Manipulating, reshaping data. Okay. Compute new variables. Okay. Create and generating and printing reports. So tomorrow, we'll go through all these three, majorly these three parts. Okay.
Okay.
If we go through these three parts, we eventually get covered with errors, checking errors, validating and and correcting those, and creating new SAS datasets. Okay.
Sure.
Any questions, ma'am, until this session? Any questions? Mm, Well,
Not for now.
Shawni, ma'am, any questions?
No, sir, no.
Okay. So, Shawni, ma'am, SAS programming before, or this is the first time?
This is the first time.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, okay. So tomorrow, we'll just go through, few of the steps. Okay. Yeah. So I'll load this particular, it's already there in the drive, which I've shared you, ma'am. It's in
Yeah,
the,
I
it's
got
in
the
the,
link.
yeah, it's in the group description. You can just go through that, and
Okay,
I'll add today's video to, today's recording to it.
sure. So
Yeah.
we'll stick to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday schedule.
Yeah. I mean, until anything, I mean, until anything goes wrong, we'll stick to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, ma'am.
Okay, that works for fine for me. So
Okay, okay, okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, these days, I'm just a bit free with my office, so I'm fine with managing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Any change in it, I'll just inform you beforehand, ma'am. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.